Hello and welcome to this month's edition of Fun Stamper's Journey Balloon Box. I'm Kim Kesti, Creative Director at Fun Stamper's Journey, and I am super excited to share this month's Balloon Box with you. It's going to be a very happy adventure. Okay, that was amazing, all those little sneak peek of the cards. I'm going to show you each and every card and walk through them with you and share all those fun tips and techniques. But first of all, let's take a look at the actual balloon box, because this balloon box is brand new. It's landing on your doorstep in March, starting March 1st. And isn't it gorgeous? Brand new design for the box. A few of you may have seen a sneak peek of the balloon box here or there, maybe on a little Facebook Live or whatnot. But now I'm super excited to reveal the absolute funness of this brand new box. I don't know if funness is a word. Anyway, it's super fun. So let's take another look at it. Scott, our illustrator, has went ahead and illustrated a lot of our main products that we have in the balloon box. And I'm going to spin it around so you can see the actual reveal on the front camera when I open the box. And you can see how all the cutiness just wraps around the box. And then check it out. When you open it, the actual inside has a new little message. Check it out. Is that not fun? Let's play. Gives you some little tips on sharing your creations. Oh my gosh, just love it. So let's actually show you what's in the balloon box, shall we? So much fun. So you will actually see that the booklet that comes with the balloon box has also been redesigned. So here we have the brand new booklet, which exactly matches our box. The inside is still pretty much the same. We're still going to give you all those full color photos, all the supplies needed, all the directions, for each and every card. So that hasn't changed a whole lot on the inside, but we wanted the outside to match our new box, and I think Scott did an amazing job with that. So cute. And of course, super important in your balloon box is a brand new full-size stamp set. So this guy is called A Great Adventure. Oh, do you like that, how I called it a guy? Some of my stamp sets I call she, some I call he. That's kind of crazy. Anyway, it is a great adventure, and it's going to be perfect for anybody in your life, male or female. And the stamp set, of course, is fully indexed in red rubber, which I will show you as I open it here. And then, of course, you get all 4 card kits. Fully kitted for you. This one has a darling little embossing detail. All your little goodies you need to make all of your 4 cards. So let's set the box aside, even though it's hard because the box is so cute. I just want to sit and look at it all day long. But the most important thing is what's in it, right? So let's go ahead and grab the Great Adventure stamp set. This month's balloon box is really a lot of about kind of more techniques involving ink. So I think that's kind of fun. Each balloon box that we bring to you, we try to come up with some kind of different tips or techniques or things that you may not know about. We always want to teach you something for balloon box. So you'll see that the red rubber is cut, and all you have to do is pull these guys apart. Sometimes if we have little tiny stamp sets, you'll know that the manufacturer leaves this extra rubber around. And I kind of like to hang on to that because it helps me helps me not to lose like these little tiny stamps, like that little star. Look how tiny and cute it is. So I'm just go ahead and take them off real quick so we can stamp with them. But then when I'm finished, I'll probably go back and put them back in these slots and keep it stored that way. So one little tip if you like to do that. If you're super, super duper organized and you don't lose little stamp sets like that, then you know what? Hey, you can go ahead and discard that extra rubber. So whatever works for you. Whatever works for you works for me. Okay, let's see. Which card should we do first? Let's talk about this one. This card kit has a really dark background for the card panel. And so we're going to try to spark it up with some really fun whipped cream ink. Let me grab the whipped cream and show you. Now I just want to talk just a little bit about how this whipped cream ink is different from our regular True Color Fusion ink. Our whipped cream and our buttercream, we have 2 different inks that have the same properties. You'll see that on the end, it has this extra little bloom. So that kind of shows you that the whipped cream is a white ink. And it also gives you a clue that it is a pigment ink. So this ink's a little bit different from our True Color Fusion ink You can even see that the felt looks a tiny bit different. So see how this one's a little more spongy and this is a little more hard felt? So this is the quality that I want to just talk about just for a minute. I'm going to grab our mountain stamp set from over here. So again, the pigment ink is not a fusion ink, so it's a regular pigment ink, which means it is really heavily pigmented with the color, which is of course what you want when you have a light colored ink. But it also means that it's going to take a little bit longer to dry. So we're going to go ahead and do some stamping for the background, and you can see how absolutely gorgeous this white ink is. It's really going to lay on a lot of color, and pigment ink tends to float on top of your cardstock a little bit more than the True Color Fusion would. So that's one property that makes it different. But because it does float on top of your cardstock, that's what takes a little bit longer to dry. So you can see that I'm getting amazing white, vivid images, even on this black licorice cardstock, which is obviously our very darkest cardstock we have. So I just love how pretty it is. You could speed up the drying with your heat gun, with your Journey Heat tool, but I kind of like to just set it aside while I'm working on all of my other projects, which is why I stamped this one first. So I'll just go ahead and let that pigment ink, set it aside somewhere where you don't smudge it, and just let it air dry. But again, if you are ready to finish your card and you can kind of, very lightly touch it and see that it's not quite dry, especially on the edges, like of this one, on the edges of the mountains, just go ahead and take your Journey Heat tool and just air dry it just a little bit more, and that'll speed up the dry time for you. So absolutely love that. The rest of the card for this one is not super complicated, so I'm actually going to go ahead and bring in the finished project. You are going to double stamp the sentiment, but I don't think you guys need me to show that. You're going to actually stamp the sentiment in black licorice, come again with the Cool Pool, and stamp it again with the Sweet Berry. And that's why you have these extra pieces, these 2 extra pieces of cardstock, so you can get your extra colors on there. And then it's just all about the fun of fussy cutting it and then having your little strips here. This card is sweet. It almost looks like a little award banner, something you might get at summer camp. Sometimes they give out the little badges for different prizes, #1 canoer, stayed underwater the longest, or whatever. So we love that it's kind of a little campy badge look. So super cute. But you can see even when the ink is dry here, the white, it really stays super vivid and super gorgeous. So love it. Awesome. I'm going to set that guy aside. We're going to use the whipped cream ink on one more card, so I'm just going to quickly kind of run through that with you. And that was the card I mentioned earlier that has the embossed background in it. So this is the card kit that has the this is the rich coral mountain in the back, and then you've got this yummy embossed piece, and then you've got this really pretty turbo teal background. So that's what we're going to go ahead and stamp some little stars. Let's give ourselves a little starry night, shall we? I'm like clunk, clunk, clunk. Here's my stars. We're going to use both a big star and the little individual star. So don't worry, we use every little stamp set that we have in there. I love that our designers have really been adding so many images to our stamp sets now. They end up being a great value, and this bloom box is no exception. So anytime we have a little bit of a space between image, we've got just a little bit of room on the rubber, we're like, add a star, add a moon, like let's get an image in there. Why not? It's like a little bonus. So for this background, you just want to start adding your starry night and just be really random about it. Don't worry if some overlaps a tiny bit there. Leave a little gap, have some starry night down here. Again, just kind of go to town doing your fun background, and then you can come in with your individual star and just fill in a few of those little gaps. So you just want to add a couple little extra stars there. I think stars are kind of fun if they're clustered together, right? So you want to have a little cluster over here. And again, this is the whipped cream ink, so it's going to take a few minutes longer to dry. So I would suggest you do this card second, and then go ahead and let the background dry. See how easy? So fun. For the finished card, we did go ahead and add a little bit of the gold silk, so I think I'll do that. Did you guys notice, for those of you who are Bloom Box subscribers, did you notice that the supply list for this Bloom Box was not quite as long as some of them are? We try to do that. We try to throw Bloom Boxes every so often that don't have quite as many supplies that you need to finish it, because we know that you want to get in there and finish cards and get on the go. But sometimes we just can't resist. We want you to try out some new product. We want you to try a new technique, and sometimes those supply lists get a little bit longer. But I think it's fun to try out new things. And of course, we always try to give you tips and tricks on different ways you can substitute supplies for what you already have, and you are always welcome to do that, of course. And I'm going to show that to you on the last card I do today. So there's the gold silk, just added a little bit of more sparkly funness to your sky. See how the gold shimmers? So pretty. So let's check out the finished card. Once you stamp a few more of your images in black licorice, which really is all 4 of these images are stamped simply in black licorice, and then you just layer them up with your really pretty starry night background. Love that one. So fun. Do you love the sentiment? Go wild. I think when Jenny posted the actual stamp sets for our coaches and for our customers too, she said something about, you're going to go wild for this stamp set. I thought that was so cute, because it really is a fun one. Okay, so card number 2, we'll set that aside. Now, card number 3 is going to be a really fun one, and this has a really interesting color combination. It was one that I absolutely fell in love with and couldn't wait to share with all of you. So Sweet Pear is one of those colors I think that not everybody uses so often. Maybe they're a little intimidated by it. It tends to be a little bit lighter color, but wait till you see this color combination we have with the Sweet Pear. I think you will love it. So let's start with the card panel. And we're going to bring in Cool Pool, we're going to bring in Rich Coral, and of course Sweet Pear, which is the color of the card base. So, doesn't that look pretty already? It's going to be so fun. But wait till you see what I do with it. Let's grab our little trees. We want both of our tree images here. And we want our little mountains back. So I'm going to run a little baby wipe over this guy. Make sure the white is off. Actually, I think I'll put him here for now. And we'll switch to that tree in a minute. Okay, so first we want to stamp our background. So we are making our own, kind of like making our own background paper. So we're going to stamp the mountains in Sweet Pear. I think if I was designing a card, I would automatically reach for the Cool Pool for the mountain, right? Wouldn't you guys? But I love that we've switched it up and done the Sweet Pear. I think it was our designer Patricia that helped me design this particular card in the Bloom Box. Love it. So what we're going to want to do is just randomly put some of our mountains here, and then where each mountain is, we're going to cluster a group of trees. So let's check that out. The largest tree I am going to do in Cool Pool, and that's the tree that kind of has just a little feathery looking. See if I can kind of angle them. Oh yeah. See how it's just got the little dots? Versus this tree that actually has the branches inside. So I'm going to do this tree in the Cool Pool. I think that the picture of this, the one we posted online, wasn't quite as vivid as it could have been, so I'm super excited to show this to you in real life. So let's stamp this first tree off the page. Wow, look how pretty and bright it is already. And we're going to put this tree here. So I'm leaving a little bit of room because I want to stamp another tree next to it. So just kind of angle those trees when you make your background. And they don't have to be perfect. They can kind of be, you know, layered with that mountain. I might be covering mine a little bit too much, so I'll do this one a little higher. There we go. I don't want to cover my mountains all the way up. I'll do another one. Kind of offset there. So there's my Cool Pool mountain. My Cool Pool trees. Is that like a fir tree that's got that light blue? Someone out there who knows trees better than me, because I live in Arizona, will know which color has that really lighter green to it. Okay, so now rich coral, the last one. One thing I want to quickly go over with you is one of the differences that makes our True Color Fusion ink really unique is that it is, because it is super saturated with color, it tends to soak into that cardstock really quickly. It's hard to get a true second generation stamp. So I kind of want to show you a little technique on doing that and show you how it's going to work with this particular card front. So we've got rich coral here. And if I'm going to not go directly to my card panel right now, I'm going to show you how bright and vivid True Coral is. So you can see that that is super bright, brighter than how I want it to look on my card front. So I am going to go ahead and stamp off, meaning I'm going to stamp a True Coral tree here, and then I'm going to come back fairly quickly and stamp it on my card. So you can see how really, really pale that second generation is. Now I'm going to grab a stamp. I'm going to grab just a scrap paper just to show you a little bit different technique. If I wanted a true second generation, I would call this third generation. Even though I went 1, 2, I'm going to show you what a true second generation looks like. So I'm going to ink up my stamp set again, but this time instead of stamping it on paper, I'm going to stamp it on a clear block. So that's going to lift off a little bit of ink. But watch when I go to my card panel. It's definitely still quite bright. But now if I move this aside, can you guys see? I guess it's the bottom of my screen here. The first generation, quite dark. Second generation, that gives you that middle ink color. It's because I stamped it off on my block, right? And then this is what I would call a third generation. So in order to get this color, which is what I want on my card panel, because I kind of want that real dreamy look and I want it to look like it goes a little bit more with the bubblegum ink, I'll do it again. You stamp off on your grid paper and then you can go right to your cardstock. So again, kind of a third generation look, even though I'm only stamping it once. You guys tracking with me? Yes. So absolutely love how that really soft, pale coral color comes out. I'll just copy that for all of my little groupings of trees. A little higher. And there we go. We are done. So wasn't that a fun technique with dropping the ink colors off? The rich coral works really good for this because it is super vivid. Now our lighter colors of ink, you're really going to probably want to stamp off on the clear block just to get you that nice impression. Because some of the inks, if you go to paper the first time, not kidding, by the time you go to the second generation, like your ink is all gone because it's all sucked up into that paper, which is cool because we love that about our True Color Fusion. We love that it grabs all the color and transfers it right to your card project. So super fun. So let me show you the finished card for this project. And here we go. It's called Follow Your Heart. So you can see our darling background. This time we've used silver silk on it. It's the only two silks we use for all of our cards, gold and silver. This time it's got the little arrow signpost, right? So cute. So again, a little campy. You know how they have the signposts all the time? Mess hall this way, cabins that way, lake this way. So cute, love it. All right, so let's just quickly go through the last card, and I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time because this one's probably the easiest of the four. But I did kind of want to just share how we did the background of this guy. So this is our Curiosity card, and I just wanted to show you how we use two colors of inks for the background. I'm such a messy scrapper. I'm looking for my little block. Here it is. So we've got just a little cutout wood log piece. So I just want to show you that for the background of this card we used black licorice and riverstone. And I won't stamp the whole thing, but let me come in with a little bit of the riverstone first. And you're just going to repeat the same technique for your entire card background. So I'm going to come in with a few different riverstones. Kind of clean my stamp here. And then come back in with the black. So you can see, if we can get in close with the camera, that there is just a slight variation between the riverstone and the black licorice. Gosh, it doesn't even show up a whole lot on there, but I think you can see that the Riverstone's a little bit lighter. So that's going to be your entire background of your card for the last one, which I will be happy to share with you right now. And there it is. Really love the sentiment on this one. Replace fear of the unknown with curiosity. Love that. So again, you can see that the whole background panel is stamped with just those little cut log pieces. So cute. So the little cloud right here, that's an example of how you can use two different mediums. You can either use the pan pastel to shade the cloud edges, or if you don't have the pan pastel in the confectionery days, you can just take your bubblegum ink and kind of shade the cloud with that too. It's really subtle, but you can see that it's got a little bit of the pink shading. I think it's a sunset cloud, it must be. So, super fun, super excited for you to get the March Bloom Box in your hand. It is shipping really quick from the Journey Station right here, and I know that you will absolutely enjoy that. It's going to be perfect for any of your friends and family in your life. So if you would like more information on the Bloom Box or anything else that Fun Stampers Journey has to offer, just visit us on the website at funstampersjourney.com. Thanks and have a great day.